If you've been getting my emails, you've noticed that I punched a whole bunch of holes in this latest narrative they got going on, Wag the Dog style there. But I just wanted to add this one thing in a video because I hadn't made a video in a while. But the two countries that Russia and America both ran with the Kentucky Fried Chicken scheme, right? You didn't see Russia pushing back against the Kentucky Fried Chicken scheme, did you? No, you didn't. They went along with the plan, right? And now all of a sudden, isn't it convenient that after that Agenda 21 plan is over, where they distributed all that Kentucky Fried Chicken, isn't it convenient then suddenly a war pops up in Ukraine, Wag the Dog style? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's real convenient, isn't it? It's like a good way to take everybody's mind off of this and move it over to this, right? Just a quick, oh, all right, we're done with that. Let's get it out of everybody's mind because there's a whole lot of stuff in there that could screw us. Yeah, let's jump over here to a war in Ukraine, Uncle Vlad. Yeah. Well, I just wanted to let y'all know one of the holes that you can punch into their narrative that they've got going on right now is when you have a 40-mile convoy that is on the other side of Ukraine, just sitting there, right? Why hasn't the submarines? I mean, let's just say, see, was all agreed upon. I'm just telling you, they agreed to do this to take the eye off of what just transpired Agenda 21 wise and move it over to something else. Because if they didn't just agree to do that together, Russia and NATO didn't agree to do this, what would happen if I was a general at the Pentagon and I considered Russia a threat to Ukraine and I actually wanted to protect Ukraine, right? Let's say I wanted to protect Ukraine. And this 40-mile long convoy is staged on the other side of the Ukrainian border, and I'm the general at the Pentagon. I would blow my whistle, right? And all of those unmanned subs that we built with hypersonic missiles that come right out, pop right out of the submarine, and they stay about 100 feet above the ocean so that they're not on radar, right? You'll never know where these hypersonic missiles came from. They don't just go straight up like that. They pop up and they go sideways. They only get about 100 feet off the ground, and radar can't even pick them up. So you don't know where they come from. They fly themselves around oil rigs and shit like that, right? I mean, these are highly sophisticated missiles, and there's 60,000 of them out there in 3,000 unmanned subs that we built. Those pop up anywhere in the ocean. It doesn't matter. They could be clear across the world and strike this convoy. They could be down at the Horn of Africa and strike the convoy in Ukraine, okay? A submarine could pop up in Australia and scoot across the ocean at 100 feet above the sea level there, and you'd never know that this thing had ever even been fired. You have no idea it's been fired until it gets close to its target, and then it makes that last. You might see it on the radar right before it hits you, but it's too late. It's going to climb up to about 500 feet or 5,000 feet or however high it's got to climb, depending on the geography right there where you're at. It might have to come over a mountain or whatever, but it climbs a little bit, and then it comes back down so that it can target what's being painted, right? And it's being painted with satellites or drones. So the convoy, the targets inside the convoy are being painted with satellites. This missile comes from Australia, if it had to, 100 feet above the sea levels. You'll never see it. It comes up, it comes down, and it strikes a vehicle inside of the convoy. Now, there's 60,000 of these in the ocean, okay? So what I'm getting at, if there's 60,000 of those at the ready, and I was a general at the Pentagon who actually was taking a threat against Ukraine serious, a Russian threat on Ukraine serious, and I knew that I could strike a convoy that's sitting there like ducks using a missile system that I designed for this very purpose that allows me to strike that convoy and there not be a shred of evidence that that convoy was struck by my missile system. Who knows? You could say it was Ukraine that struck the convoy. Maybe Ukraine suddenly shit some new missiles that they were keeping in a bunker somewhere that the KGB gave them from way back when, and they had the Soviet Union held some missiles in a weapons depot that they didn't tell anybody about. And who knows where these missiles came from, right? America could strike this convoy and then poof it up in the media. Oh, yeah, it turns out that whenever Ukraine separated from the Soviet Union, there were some generals there that held some missiles in a secret weapons depot. And they took these missiles out that nobody could ever imagine would still work, and suddenly they just shot them into the air, and they happened to hit the target, which was a 40-mile convoy of Russian war machines. Right? So that's on Fox News, right? Right, of course. It's odd to me that Fox News knows every bit of the Russian strategy. You know, they got like the lines and the charts, and they know exactly what Russia's doing step by step and everything. I mean, what are y'all doing telling? See, that's what I'm saying. It's all bullshit. And this will let you know for sure, that the entire thing's a cooked up scheme to get your mind off Kentucky Fried Chicken shots. For sure, is what it is. Because this is an actual possibility that could happen just like that. The Pentagon could call this order tomorrow, could call it right now. They could call it 10 minutes from now. They could call it 20 minutes from now. They could have called it yesterday. It doesn't matter. They have the capability to annihilate every vehicle in that convoy with hypersonic missiles that can't be traced back to the Pentagon. You simply say, oh yeah, Ukraine just wiped out their entire convoy. Yeah, they must have had some missiles stashed somewhere. How'd they do that? Because nobody can trace the origin of a hypersonic missile that's fired from halfway across the globe that stays 100 feet off of the sea level, it fired out of a submarine. You just simply can't, even if it wasn't fired out of a submarine, you could fire it from land. It doesn't matter. But the chances of somebody seeing it from land is going to get you busted when you do it that way. If you fired a missile from land in Australia, somebody's going to YouTube it. Oh, yep, we got them. We know where they fired it because it's on YouTube, right? What's this strange looking missile that was going through Australia right before it hit a convoy in the Ukraine? Oh, it's on YouTube. That's strange. Well, you're busted then. Well, when you have unmanned subs out in the middle of the ocean where nobody has a camera phone, you can just launch this thing up and it goes undetected as it comes right out of the ocean there, 100 feet sea level off the sea level. It scoots across, it flies itself around the things that's in its way, and then a satellite's painting a target on top of its, and it doesn't miss. It's precision fired missiles. It does not miss, okay? These are legitimate precision fired missiles that will not miss. And that satellite sends a laser beam down to the target, and as that missile gets close to its target, it'll climb, and then it'll come down, and it'll hit the target. You could hit every vehicle in that 40-mile convoy at the same time. You could hit every vehicle at the same time, where every vehicle would blow up at the same time. If you were in a drone with a camera over the top watching, you could time it to where every missile hit at the exact same moment. And they literally have that capability at the Pentagon. They can do that right now, right? If they wanted to. But they don't want to, because they want this to be a big media event, because it's helping them cover up the Kentucky Fried Chicken scheme that they just finished. And they're controlling both sides. Control through chaos. That's what's going on. So I just wanted to explain that America does have this capability, and they wouldn't even have to take credit for it. They'd just give the credit to Ukraine, right? So if they actually wanted to stop it, they would have already stopped it, is what I'm getting at. But they don't. They don't want to stop it because it's helping them cover up Agenda 21, which took place, and you should know what Agenda 21 is, what happened in the year 2021. All that, yeah. See how that works? So, yeah, they're all full of shit. They're frauds.